All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA Show. So what I'm going to call this podcast is, are you tired of having to explain yourself to others? The reason I bring this up is because I feel like that's how I feel. That makes sense? I feel like that's how I feel. Okay, yeah, let's go with it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times I have to explain myself to everyone about what I'm doing. And after a while, I just am spent on it. I think because I do different things and I live a different lifestyle in the way I think, behave, and go about my life in general, it's very mysterious, I guess you could say, to a lot of people. They kind of want to know what I'm up to, why do I do the things I do, the way I do them, and how I don't really get caught up with what everybody else is doing or following a certain formula. That can be for how I make a living. That could be for how I live my lifestyle, just across the board. And I think what happens with a lot of people is, this isn't me, I'm just saying, a lot of people, I think, they always feel like they have to explain why they do what they do. Or they always want also to, or have people understand them, or have people, when they're explaining what they're doing, it has to be acceptable by others. Or they have to follow a certain formula. Like they always have to say, even, if somebody asks you what you do for a living, you have this kind of pitch and you want to talk about something to kind of impress somebody maybe a little bit. Or maybe just kind of always feeling like you have to tell somebody something that they want to hear to make them feel comfortable. And I'm not telling you want to talk and make others feel uncomfortable. In my case, I can care less, which I think on one end installs fear in people because they don't know what I'm going to say or do. They also can't grasp what I'm doing. And it confuses them and they almost want to knock you because you're kind of so different. I go through that with even my friends a lot of times. And they're always, we all dig on one another. But I still think even my closest friends are confused on the way I do things and why I do them. And I'm just kind of spent having to explain myself all the time. Even at my age, the older you get, the more they want to know what's going on in your life. Are you set up for retirement? Why don't you have more money in the bank? Why aren't you doing this? You have to do this. Why didn't you do that? All this shit. I don't give a shit what your beliefs are a lot of times. You can give me, your advice, which is wonderful. But I am definitely somebody who is not going to play by anybody else's rules or games. It doesn't work for me. Never did. I don't mean to say that to be arrogant. Believe me, everything can blow up in my face at any moment. I don't care if you're rich, poor, in the middle, whatever. At any time, things can blow up in your face, especially with your health. You have no idea what's going to happen next. I do think, though, there's no question you want to be prepared for the future financially, right? I do believe that. But I also think a lot of people are so obsessed with their retirement, they lose track of their own life, especially during their great years. So they kill themselves for 30, 40 years, or even the last, say, from 40 to 70 or whatever, which is great. They work like animals, and then they vacation once or twice a week, and they're just exhausted all the time, beat up. By the time they retire, they can barely get out of bed, and they have no energy. I wanted to live my life almost like I'm always on vacation. I call myself a professional tourist. That's one of the reasons I believe why I live in Orlando, Florida, because it's probably, I didn't even know this till recently. It's, I knew this, but it's the number one tourist destination in the world. But for some reason, after traveling all over North America and going to Italy, probably Italy and Florida, after everything was said and done, fit my lifestyle the best. I like the weather. I like the tropical. I liked California, but I liked really only Southern California, to be honest with you. And I really only, after everything was said and done, I liked Santa Barbara and San Diego. But when it comes to Florida, I like so many different cities, up and down. I just liked it better after a while. Just maybe because I was coming here since 5 years old, so I just evolved and it became my second home from Chicago. But I mean, I've been here since 18 years old, so I've been here a lot longer than I was ever in Chicago. But back to, if you're somebody out there and you want to do something different, or you want to talk about doing something different, or even if you want to explain yourself differently, don't be afraid to do it. I just think a lot of people don't have the balls to explain who they are or what they want to do or what their true passion is. I think, again, they're always talking just to kind of make somebody else feel more comfortable, or it's just kind of phony baloney type shit. And I live it. So every time I'm out with a lot of my friends and all this, they're always kind of, and family members and everybody, even people I don't know, it's kind of like I think they don't want to embarrass themselves, I think. And a lot of times I also think in discussions that it's almost a routine. So it's almost a pitch, like I said earlier, but kind of what you talk about, it's like a loop. And it's the same type of conversations a lot of times about the same history. And I just find it quite boring and uninteresting. Now, that's just me, and I've kind of hit the wall with it lately where the one thing I do like, I'm going to tell you right now, I love the youth. You know, a lot of people make fun of the millennials, and I goof around and call myself the oldest millennial out there. And I get you can dig on millennials, but you can dig on people that are middle-aged, you could dig on baby boomers. I don't give a shit. And we can all dig on each other, right? I get it. But, you know, the one thing I do love about, you know, hanging with younger guys, my engineer's young. I'm working now with a couple new younger guys with marketing, and I try to converse with a lot of my cousins, and my kids are in their 20s. I guess my stepkids are in their early 20s. You know, I don't care if we're talking about TikTok or we're talking about social media or we're talking about what's going on. It's fresh, it's exciting, it's new, and it seems like they're a little, you know, more, I guess you could say dreamy, which I like what their dreams are going to be, what they want to go after and what they want to accomplish and those type of things where, you know, sometimes I even look at them and go, wow, that's pretty crazy. And I hang out with people that are very, you know, they could be musicians too, younger, filmmakers, marketing guys, like I was saying earlier, or just people just trying all different types of things, trying to get degrees at university. And my friends' kids that are athletes that do really well in college, I love talking with them. And they're I don't know if they're going to become professional baseball players, a lot of them, or going to the Olympics for volleyball, say the athletes, or, you know, even my daughter getting, you know, her degree finally, and others getting their degrees, and others traveling all over the country doing music all over the world. It's just nice to talk to people that are kind of just living a different type of life and living the life they want to lead right now, but also just being open-minded and being honest. And sometimes it sounds crazy what they want to do, but I love that. And I think like with a lot of people I'm around, especially middle-aged, it is the same shit. And I think they also, on the flip side, I'm going to end up with this, I think a lot of people think they have to explain themselves to me, either why they're doing better, or explain to me what I should be doing, or explain to me who they are to, I don't know if that necessarily impress me, but just kind of maybe want to do something with me and all these things. And I can just tell it's a phony ass pitch. I get on the phone with certain people, I can tell from the beginning of the conversation to the end that they had this thing memorized. It's just not genuine, man. The one bit of advice I'm going to give people when having conversations is just be as genuine as possible. And, you know, I talk about that with men trying to meet women. If you can just act like a goddamn human being and treat a woman like a friend or like just like anyone else, it's going to go a lot longer than if you talk to her like you're trying to pick her up, flirt with her a lot of times. Just all that bullshit. Just be genuine, man. Genuineness is going to go the longest way, I believe, with conversations. And again, I'm going to wrap it up. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't owe anyone anything. If you're going in for a job interview, of course you're going to have these conversations. That's different. Maybe if you're starting to date someone, of course you're going to talk about yourself. That's a little different. I'm just talking about a lot of these conversations that we have with one another are the same goddamn conversations we've had for decades that are really leading us to nowhere else but aggravation. A lot of them. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.